Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to review the 2018 Netflix movie Outlaw King, a film that is directed by David Mackenzie, who has directed films such as Hell and High Water, and stars Chris Pine as Robert the Bruce and Aaron Taylor Johnson, as well as a few other names that you would likely recognise from the world of TV and movies. Now, this film is a retelling of how Robert the Bruce, the King of Scots, basically won his country back from the English. And it focuses essentially, the beginning of this film is almost the end of Braveheart, even though Braveheart is historically inaccurate compared to this. This film starts almost with the death of William Wallace. And all the Scottish lords, etc., have signed peace treaties with King Edward, the English king, and signed over everything. And in the meantime, Robert the Bruce is being married off to a young English girl, so that he can be, marrying into English royalty sort of thing, who he hasn't met. He meets her for the first time on like the wedding day type thing, and he witnesses like some atrocities from the English that makes him realise that a terrible mistake has been made. He tries to rally the support of the Scottish lords. He wins the support of some, but quite a few of them aren't interested, and he ends up killing one of his rivals. And what the church in Scotland decide to do is to crown him king very, very quickly, in the hope that it will gather support for the king and they can put up a fight against the English. Initially it all goes terribly wrong. He's driven into hiding, and eventually he starts getting the support that he needs in order to try and put up a big enough fight back to the English in the hope that he can win his country back. That's me giving you the bare bones of the story. It's a bit more complex than how I'm describing it. Now then, what did I think of Outlaw King? I've got to tell you guys, I thought this film was out bloody standing. Absolutely loved it. My first question is, what is this doing on Netflix? I don't have anything against Netflix or streaming, I really don't. I love streaming movies. However, I think this film deserved to be on a big screen. The cinematography here is just beautiful. The score, the cinematography, the acting, the battle scenes, the emotion that you get from this movie, this all, in my opinion, deserved to be on a big screen. And this film is a lesser an experience because of that, I would suggest, but I still found it absolutely outstanding, this film. I thought Chris Pine as Robert the Bruce did a wonderful job. I was worried after seeing the trailer in regards to how he was going to respond to this role and what his accent was going to be like. As if I didn't need to worry. His Scottish accent is very subtle. He doesn't overdo it, so he can't get overly criticised, and I think it works really, really well. And they kind of surrounded him by other actors, Scottish and otherwise, who didn't have really powerful Scots accents, so it didn't make his stand out. I thought that was a clever move, and honestly I think this is arguably Chris Pine's best performance in front of a camera. I thought it was really, really a fantastic performance, as everybody was in this movie. Everybody gave a stellar performance in this movie, and I completely believed it. Like I said, as I've mentioned, the cinematography is amongst the most stunning I've seen this year, by far. Beautiful. The costume design, outstanding. The battle scenes are dirty and brutal and muddy and savage. Very realistic. In fact, the final battle scene at the end, I had to wince and turn away more than a couple of times. It was very brutal. And incredibly emotional at times as well, this movie. When Robert the Bruce finds out about family members dying or people that he cares about being taken, and it really gets you. It absolutely does get you. and the wonderful uplifting ending as well. I thought this was a beautifully made movie. Now, from doing a little bit of research, there were a couple of historical inaccuracies in this movie, but nothing to the level of Braveheart. And I don't really want to talk about them because it might spoil parts of the movie for you. But rest assured, my understanding is that this is more historically accurate than many an historical outing like this. And I do applaud them for it. I really do. And this is an epic movie that, again, breaks my heart that it isn't in the cinema screens. It really does. But what I do implore you all to do right now, tonight on Netflix, is to click play on this film. Sit back, watch it. You will absolutely love this movie. It's outstanding. It really is, guys. One of my favourite films this year. And I can't remember saying that many times, certainly about a Netflix movie. I think they've got a bit of a hit and miss ratio in regards to the movies they put out. I'm giving this film a 9 out of 10, guys. Loved it. I can't give you any real criticisms of it. Apparently there's a 4-hour cut out there of this film. I'd love to see that as well. Please give us a director's cut, David Mackenzie. I will definitely be interested in watching that. Because it did, I suppose, one little criticism I can give it is it felt too rushed, and even though it's an almost 2-hour film, I wanted to see more. I really did want to see more. I wanted to learn more about some of the other characters in the film. Regardless of Robert the Bruce, some of the other characters were really interesting. I wanted to learn a little bit more about them, but we didn't get too much information on them. But for me, guys, it's an essential watch. Go and click play on that film tonight and have a bloody good time watching it, because I certainly did. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and I shall see you next time on Screen Stars.